Every year, on the most sacred day of their calendar, the ancient Israelites took part in a strange and mysterious ritual. It was the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, a day for cleansing and repentance. During the ceremony, the high priest would take 2 goats, nearly identical, and cast lots over them. One was for God, a sacrifice for the people's sins. The other was for Azazel. Upon this second goat, the priest would lay his hands and confess everything, all the iniquities, transgressions, and sins of the entire nation. Then this goat, now heavy with the weight of a whole society's corruption, was sent away, driven deep into the unforgiving wilderness, never to be seen again. It was a powerful symbol. Sin was being physically removed, banished to a desolate land. But what if this wasn't just a symbol? What if Azazel wasn't just a name for a place, but a powerful fallen angel blamed for unleashing warfare and forbidden knowledge onto the world? This is the story of how a figure from an ancient ritual transformed into one of the most feared and enigmatic demons in history. This is carrying humanity's sins. To truly understand how this happened, we must go back to the beginning, to the Book of Leviticus in the Torah. The ritual of the 2 goats was the centerpiece of the Day of Atonement. The first goat, the one for the Lord, was sacrificed in the usual way. Its blood was used to purify the Holy of Holies, the most sacred space in the tabernacle, cleansing it from the spiritual filth caused by the people's sins. It was a hugely important religious act, meant to reconnect the community with God. But it's the second goat's journey where our mystery begins. The text says it was to be sent for Azazel into the wilderness. Now, the Hebrew word la Azazel is unique. It only appears in this one chapter of the Bible, and it has puzzled scholars for centuries. Was Azazel just a place? Some argue it refers to a specific cliff or a desolate region, a physical spot so remote that anything sent there would be gone for good. That makes sense, right? The goal was to completely remove sin from the community. However, another interpretation, one that grew much more popular over time, saw Azazel not as a place, but as a name. Think about the structure of the command. One lot for the Lord and the other lot for Azazel. It sets up a deliberate parallel. If one goat was for God, then who or what was this other entity, powerful enough to be on the receiving end of a whole nation's guilt? This question opens the door to a much darker and more complex story, one that you won't find in the Bible but in other ancient texts that were, for a time, just as important. To uncover Azazel's secret identity, we have to look into a controversial and fascinating text known as the Book of Enoch. While it's not part of the official Hebrew or Protestant biblical canons, this ancient Jewish work from the Second Temple period was incredibly popular in certain circles and helped shape the beliefs of many early Jews and Christians. It's here, in the pages of Enoch, that Azazel's identity explodes from a vague name into a full-fledged character with a terrifying backstory. According to the Book of Enoch, Azazel wasn't some desert spirit. He was one of the chief leaders of the Watchers, a group of powerful angels sent to watch over humanity. But as they watched, they began to lust after human women. Led by their leader, Samyaza, 200 of these angels came down to earth, took human wives, and in doing so, committed a massive act of rebellion against God. This unholy union created monstrous children known as the Nephilim, giants who filled the earth with violence and chaos. But the Watchers' sin wasn't just lust. They did something far worse. They shared forbidden knowledge, revealing the eternal secrets of heaven to mortals who weren't ready for them. And the one leading this catastrophic class was the angel Azazel. The Book of Enoch blames for humanity's fall squarely on Azazel's shoulders. It paints him as history's first arms dealer and a master of vanity. The text says, "And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates." He showed them the metals of the earth and the art of making war, turning humanity from a state of relative innocence to one of constant bloodshed. But his lessons didn't stop there. Azazel also taught humanity the art of deception. He showed them how to make bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. He was blamed for introducing cosmetics and jewelry, things that, according to the text, led to godlessness and sin as people were led astray by superficial beauty. Through these revelations, Azazel corrupted the world. He didn't just give people new tools, he fundamentally changed them, introducing war, deception, and materialism. The world became so wicked that the souls of the dead cried out to heaven for justice, asking, "Thou seest what Azazel hath done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth and revealed the eternal secrets which were in heaven." This jump from a ritualistic name to a cosmic supervillain is one of the most dramatic character arcs in all of religious lore. If you enjoy uncovering these hidden histories and exploring the fascinating figures that exist in the margins of sacred texts, take a moment to subscribe. We have a lot more mysteries to decode together. The corruption unleashed by Azazel and the Watchers got so bad that God was forced to intervene. The response was the Great Flood, a divine reset button meant to wash the world clean. But before the flood, justice had to be served to the angels who started it all. According to the Book of Enoch, God gives the archangel Raphael a specific and brutal job. Raphael is told to bind Azazel hand and foot and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudael, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever. This place, Dudael, is described as a desolate rocky prison. Azazel, the great corrupter, was to be trapped under the earth until the final day of judgment, when he would be thrown into a lake of fire. Then, the text makes a powerful declaration, "And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin." In the world of Enoch, Azazel becomes the ultimate scapegoat, not just a symbolic carrier of sin, but the source of it. And this is where the ritual in Leviticus and the myth in Enoch shockingly converge. Azazel's punishment provides a stunning mythological backstory for the Day of Atonement. The goat is sent for Azazel into the wilderness, because that is where Azazel himself is bound. The ritual becomes a symbolic reenactment of his imprisonment, a yearly reminder of where sin belongs, sent back to its source, cast into the darkness with the fallen angel who first unleashed it. This connection became so strong that later Jewish tradition describes the goat being led to a rugged cliff and pushed to its death, ensuring it and the sins it carried could never return from the desolate prison of the demon. Now, as compelling as the Book of Enoch's story is, it's vital to remember that this interpretation is not part of the canonical Bible and isn't accepted across all Jewish or Christian traditions. The identity of Azazel in Leviticus is still debated by scholars and theologians. It's a perfect example of how religious ideas can evolve, with figures taking on a whole new life in later texts. Azazel's transformation from a ritual name to a demon continued in other non-biblical works. In the Apocalypse of Abraham, written centuries after Enoch, he appears as a full-on tempter, an unclean bird trying to lead Abraham astray and cement his role as a satanic figure. Over the centuries, the name Azazel became linked with a powerful evil force. Some traditions saw him as Satan himself, while others viewed him as a high-ranking demon of the desert. His story reflects a deep human need to understand where evil comes from. By personifying corruption in the figure of Azazel, ancient writers could explain why humanity seemed so prone to war, greed, and vanity. He was a convenient figure to blame. So, who was Azazel? Was he just a name for the wilderness, the final destination for a goat carrying the sins of a nation? Or was he a powerful angel who, in an act of cosmic rebellion, gave humanity forbidden knowledge that led to its downfall? The journey of Azazel is a testament to the power of stories. It shows how a single, ambiguous word in an ancient ritual can spark the imagination, evolving over centuries into a complex and terrifying narrative of betrayal. From a silent receiver of a sin-filled goat to the fallen angel who taught us how to fight and chase vanity, Azazel's transformation is one of the most shocking in all of religious mythology. He is the ultimate scapegoat, a figure born from a ritual of forgiveness and reborn as the demon who gets blamed for it all. But that leaves us with one last question. What do you think? Was Azazel a true force of evil that corrupted innocent humanity, or was he a scapegoat in the most literal sense, a convenient figure to blame for our flaws? Let me know what you think in the comments below.